Ever wondered what the differences between ravens and crows are? Well, you're about to find out. It's easy to confuse these two birds. They're both black, they both caw, and they're both incredibly smart. But did you know that the size, beak, tail shape, throat feathers, call, flight style, social grouping, and habitat of ravens and crows are vastly different? Common misconceptions often blur the lines between these two fascinating species. Stay tuned to debunk these myths and learn more about these captivating birds. First off, size does matter when it comes to differentiating ravens from crows. In the avian world, ravens are the larger of the two. Imagine a bird almost the size of a small hawk. That's your raven. Crows, on the other hand, are more comparable to pigeons. While both birds may appear similar from a distance, this size difference is a key factor in telling them apart. So when you spot a bird of significant size, remember, if it's larger, it's likely a raven. Next, let's talk about beaks and tails. Birds' beak and tail shapes are often key indicators of their species and can be especially helpful in distinguishing between ravens and crows. Ravens, you see, have beaks that are noticeably thicker and curvier compared to their crow cousins. These robust, curved beaks are well designed for their omnivorous diet, which can include anything from insects to small animals and even carrion. On the other hand, crows sport smaller, thinner beaks, which they use to pick and peck at their food, be it plant-based or otherwise. As for the tails, ravens have tails that are wedge-shaped. This means the middle feathers are longer than the side ones, giving the tail a pointed appearance. Crows, conversely, have fan-shaped tails with feathers that are roughly the same length, creating a more rounded or squared-off look from behind. So, a curvy beak and wedge-shaped tail point towards a raven, while a thin beak and fan-shaped tail suggest a crow. Now, onto the call and flight style of these birds. The call of a raven and a crow are as unique as their physical features. Ravens produce a low, resonating croaking sound, almost like a frog's croak, but with a bird's touch. It's a deep, throaty rattle that echoes in the wilderness. On the other hand, crows have a more familiar, loud caw that we often hear in our neighborhoods. When it comes to flight style, the raven's flight is more of a spectacle. Ravens glide through the air in a soaring, graceful manner, their wings barely moving, giving off an aura of majesty. Crows, however, have a more direct approach. They fly in a straight line with regular, strong wing beats, getting them from point A to point B efficiently. So, the next time you see a bird flying overhead or hear a distinct call, remember these differences. Pay attention to the call and flight, and you might just be able to tell whether it's a raven or a crow. Lastly, let's explore their social behavior and habitat. Ravens and crows, though related, have quite different social structures. Ravens are more solitary creatures. They prefer to keep to themselves or in pairs, often seen in wilder areas, such as forests and mountains. Their independence reflects their preference for quieter, less populated habitats. On the other hand, crows are the extroverts of the bird world. They are often seen in large groups, known as a murder of crows, and they thrive in various environments, including busy urban areas. From city parks to suburban backyards, crows are adaptable and not shy about making their presence known. This stark contrast in social grouping and habitat preferences provides us with a handy clue to distinguish between these two birds. So, a solitary bird in the wild is likely a raven, while a group in the city is probably a bunch of crows. Now that we've broken down the differences, let's summarize. Ravens are larger than crows, with a more robust curved beak and a wedge-shaped tail. Their call is a deep, throaty croak, and they're often seen soaring solo in the wild, showcasing their acrobatic flight style. On the other hand, crows are smaller, boasting a thin, straight beak and a fan-shaped tail. Their caw is more familiar to most of us. and they're often seen flying in groups, especially in urban environments. Both species are highly intelligent, but their social grouping and habitats vary. Ravens are more solitary and prefer wild, remote areas, while crows are social creatures, frequently found in urban areas. So next time you see a large solitary bird with a curvy beak and wedge-shaped tail soaring in the wild, you'll know it's a raven. And if you spot a smaller bird with a thin beak and fan-shaped tail cawing in a group in the city, you'll know it's a crow. Keep observing, and happy birding.